Zotac has a funky looking product with the white edition amp card. It is nice and compact. The white color however is a little icky in a dark LED lit PC. Honestly, we'd advise the dark colored varying for better overall looks. At the time of writing, we have not received final MSRP just yet, but if the generic MSRP of the GeForce RTX 3060 sits at the around $330 marker, we expect this product to sit in a steep around $370 range. Let's break down the test results though. Cooling and noise levels. The card is slightly lighting up, nothing really worrying though. Temps under stress load sit just under 65 degrees Celsius, and that's okay. Acoustics wise, this is not premium level silence, you can hear the card while gaming. So it's not good, but not too bad either. Energy. More recently, we changed the way we measure power consumption to bring you more precise numbers. Pulling manufacturer registers with, say, Afterburner creates the problem that you never know precisely what you are measuring. TGP versus TDP versus TBP. With our new methodology, we accurately measure the graphics card's power feeds, that's the PCIe PEG connectors and PCI slot. As such, we display the total board power. I mean, you can measure the GPU solely, TGP, but you also feed other components, like memory, ICs, and let's not forget cooling and RGB. This card reveals a typical gaming power draw of 165 to 170 watt averaged out. Coil whine. The AMP white exhibits minor amounts of coil squeal, very little, and it's hard to hear. In a closed chassis, that noise would fade away in the background. Graphics cards all make this in some form, especially at high frame rates, this can be perceived. Pricing. Nvidia is pricing the GeForce RTX 3060 base price at $329. We have not yet received the MSRP for this specific card, but this product with the tweak, you may add another $40 and the non-OC model should have the standard MSRP of $329. But with a predicted low availability, it's hard to really make a factual statement here if prices inflate due to e-tailers hiking up prices. Tweaking. The graphics card is tweaked right out of the box, but can be pushed further manually. You'll reach 16 to 16.5 Gbps on the memory easily, a plus 90 MHz on the boost, and for the lucky ones even a notch higher, that's on top of that factory tweak. Importantly, slide open the power limiter. More power budget allows the GPU to do what it likes to do the best, go fast. Combined with the tweaks mentioned on the OC page, you'll sit in the realm of 2000 to 2050 MHz on the boost frequency. The 3060 is memory bandwidth limited on that 192-bit wide memory bus, so it likes more air to breathe in. The tweak we've been able to apply was 1.71 Gbps. Here you'll gain a lot of extra performance. Combined with that turbo in the 2050 to 2085 MHz domain. Remember that values differ per workload and thus the game title. Remember, for our tweak to be called valid, it needs to pass 4 games in a full benchmark run at Ultra HD to be called stable. The AMPO certainly is one of the better tweakable graphics cards. At last I can say. Zotac has a clean product here, under the hood things look good in phase and component design. Now I don't mean that in rendering performance, as that is fairly close and similar for all cards. No, I mean cooling and acoustics. Also, the looks, while nice, are a bit bland. For example, the backplate bracket has a different tint of white compared to the front side, it's a little yellow. And it's in these small details where the differences are made. Being a value proposition, yes, it has a plastic shell and just 2 fans. But acoustics stay at rather average levels, your temps are fine though. The performance is a tiny bit higher than baseline. Yet with a manual tweak you'll easily gain at least 5% extra performance out of it. There's little wrong with that, and for you as a consumer, it is imperative to have choices as graphics cards have gotten more than expensive enough already. The 12GB GDDR6 is a really nice value that will help you for at least a few years in your VRAM needs. The performance does not disappoint either, I mean, roughly RTX 2070 levels are the best comparative note that I can make. If you stick to 2560 into 1440 as a resolution, you'll be able to play some games with hybrid ray tracing as well, and while we cannot care the slightest bit about ray traced shadows, it's the quality reflections that make the difference for me. Just drive around London and watch Dogs, Legion, look at water and fire reflections in Battlefield V as an example. That's where it makes a difference. You're going to need DLSS 2.0 compatibility in games to make the best of it. But all these variables have been inserted into the RTX 3060 for you. Surely the card is not a powerhouse, but you can frag along with acceptable frame rates. Overall, we think this is a lovely compact card. I'm not sure about the white design inside a dark chassis, as that is very contrasting. The game performance, however, is nice, the cooling level good, the acoustics somewhat poor though. We can recommend it if you can purchase it at acceptable prices, which we know is a paradox.